Contrary to popular belief, twin flame union is easy. What makes it difficult for us is the resistance that we have in our soul, in ourselves. Also, the process to stay with them is in fact logic and has not a lot of complicated dimensions at the core of it. Let's talk about that. We all think that twin flame union is so difficult, and when you're there, let's say you have done all these difficulties, and when you're there, then people believe it might be difficult to stay in it as well. Because they walk away from you all the time. They go out of communication with you all the time. They block you on Facebook or on Instagram or wherever. They don't want to be with you, isn't it? Well, let's start to see that in another way, is my suggestion for today. It might be refreshing for you and to remember you what it truly is and also who you truly are, because it is your nature. You are a twin flame because it's the deeper nature of being a human being. Yes, it's an invisible nature. Yes, it's not something that many people currently acknowledge or even live in harmonious union with it. But that doesn't mean that it's not your nature, because it is. But we are a little bit wandered off of our true nature. You see, that's the issue. And the empowering message beneath it is that you can repair that by accepting that you've wandered off of your true nature and then start to actually go back there. Reset yourself to the degree that you fall in place with who you originally were meant to be. That's the process. There are blocks before you get there. There is resistance inside of ourselves before we get there. But again, the empowering message is that you can do something about those blocks and these resistances. But oftentimes it seems invisible to us, like, I have resistance, I have a block, but no. They blocked me on Facebook, right? They went out of the communication with me. It's not my fault, is it? Well, but you are at the core one. That's the definition of what a twin flame is. If you're not one at the core, in that invisible core that might be a little bit further deep down inside of you than you're accustomed to look, if you're not at the core one, then it's not your twin flame. Which might be the case for some people that complain about these things, about their twin flame, that it's not their twin flame. It's possible. You can get to know that as well, which would mean a lot of clarity, right? If you want to live with your true twin flame and invite in your twin flame abundance in your life, which is what I pass on. So I think it's healthy to say that we do have blocks and inner resistances to being that true self that we are. Having that core of the union of your twin flame nature be present in you in your everyday life right now. That's the point, because you mirror each other, because twin flames mirror each other's issues all the time. That means that pointing towards them, what they do wrong, and they walked away, and they blocked me, and they went out of communication, and they have another. That always must mirror something inside of you, because they're your twin flame, and otherwise they're not your twin flame. And what are they mirroring back to you? They're mirroring back to you exactly the clues of what those resistances are, what these blocks exactly are. So you can take that in as information for your empowering action to actually do the inner work that you can do for the entire union. Now, isn't that empowering? You can make the change. People say, I want to be the change in the world. Well, start doing that. What they show you is exactly what you need to know right now to go deeper to yourself, to your twin flame blueprint that you are at the core, and heal that. Heal that inside yourself. So even when there is this awful resistance, this awful thing that they did, you see, that's the same, the resistance and the awful thing that they did. The resistance is inside of you, the awful thing that they did is there, but it's actually the same. When you can admit that, then you've won something. Then you've won the next step. You've won the next stride on your twin flame journey. So accept that at this moment that you have blocks, that you have resistance, because otherwise you would already be in twin flame union. You would already harmoniously be unionized with them. And inside of that sacred bubble, live a sacred, beautiful, romantic relationship, daily life with them in a marriage together, right? But you're not there yet. So there's something there and you can do something about that. It's easy. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. You're not in a complicated situation. There's no answer to it. Your situation is so unique. This is really, it can't happen because my situation is beyond anything that you can ever think of. That's not true. It's easy. They're doing that. That is because you have resistance inside yourself. That's one thing. Otherwise, it's not your twin flame. Which can also be a way to find out if it's your twin flame or not. Can you take responsibility for this block that you see in them? And accept that it is inside of you. Because the core must be your union core. It must be inside of you too. Otherwise, it's not your twin flame. It's not difficult. It's easy. It's your true nature. So there is certainly a process to having your nature come forward and committing to it and choosing it and going for it and doing the correct kind of inner work to make that happen and keep on making that happen. So you go to the harmonious twin flame union state of being. That's certainly here. Of course, there's this process, but it's not complicated beyond belief. It's fairly easy. And when it's not, you have resistances that are, well, they may be, big. They may be beyond belief. But even then, even when you would need to conclude that they are, it's not difficult. It's just your next thing that you're going to encounter and look into the eyes and resolve by doing your inner work for you and the union at the same time, because they mirror you. They must. It's law. So it's not difficult. It's not complicated. It's not a huge complicated mess that you can't believe, that can never be resolved, not even in 5 lifetimes. No. But maybe you need a little help to be confronted with these points that seem undoable. And that would be very human, very normal. And asking for support in that would be very conducive for your process. Absolutely. And when it hurts, that hurts. And when you need to cry, you cry. But it will pass. And you will still go to that huge love that you feel the call to in your heart. That's the promise. I promise you that. I really do. The process to stay with them is the same. You claim them. It's your twin flame. And when they do something that makes you want to run away, or makes you want to take another partner, or makes you want to block them on Facebook, or they do that, but that's the same. You see, they mirror. When you're together and you want to keep them, and you encounter this in yourself or in them, this huge pain and panic, you do the same. You say to yourself, okay, but I want to stay with them. This is my union. I'm going to take care of that union. Union self-care is doing the inner work to resolve that in yourself, for yourself and the union, so that they can stay close, they can stay together. So it's not really complicated for twin flames to actually meet and be together and stay together. You have to choose them, you have to commit to them, and you have to commit to doing the inner work all the time, forever after. Indeed, doing the inner work forever after. That might be your marriage vow. But it's not complicated, it's not difficult. It's a fairly straightforward and logic process. You encounter what this situation tells you. You repair it in yourself with the key tool consisting of 4 steps. We have 2 versions, in which you turn your emotion around to the inner quality that you already own, in which you take the pointed fingers outside back to yourself and heal what that gives you for a situation that is actually happening inside of you. You'll love that until it is completely okay again. And that must keep them in your relationship. That must keep them in your reality. Because you choose that. To keep on doing the inner work no matter what, all the time. That's your marriage vow. So it's not complicated. It's not out of this world, messed up. Oh, that's never what that is, because even when it seems like that to you, you can always go back to that union core. And when that is peaceful, you call in all the support of the entire universe that will stand behind you now to give you what you need to move forward on this next step, even when it is physical help, monetary help, moving over the entire world to the other end of the world. Feeling out what your true sexuality actually is. So many things. Everything that you need to see as insight, have as money, get as information will be given there. Because at this union core, when you genuinely connect there, you do connect with the giving core of the universe. And Source backs you up there. Now you may need to practice that a little bit to start to trust that Source will back you up. And then you will start to really have a lived through experience that this is so. I understand that. And that's also a good reason why you want to start to do the correct twin flame inner work with the key tool right now already. Even before you're in union, before you're in harmonious union, sometimes even before you know who the true twin flame even is. Just from having a call in your heart to do this kind of love, to do this kind of relationship. Already start to do this inner work and get used to it, what it is. Because you will need it to go to union, in union, to go to harmonious union, in harmonious union, in that everlasting marriage relationship that you share together in this beautiful dance that always keeps close, because you are having said the marriage vow that says that you will do this correct inner work every time, no matter how big the challenge seems to be in the physical world, which is essentially at the end of the day an illusionary world. That means it's a hologram that you steer, that the deeper you steers, that the you that is the core of your union deep inside of you that can come forward as the one that steers. And that is possible for you. It's not hocus pocus. It's not something unattainable. And the beauty of already starting to do the inner work right now is that you accustom yourself to keep on doing it. And that's how you guarantee to yourself that you have the correct kind of tools to stay in union, to stay in harmonious union. You see? and to go to that place where you peacefully remain together, because that's the vow that you feel in your heart. And that's a gift that you can give to yourself and to your deeper self and to the core of your union. And that is the gift of gifts. That you can give to God, to Source. It's a commitment there. And then He, she will give you endlessly, eternally back. Your mission will be given in your union space. You will start to build your mission out and have a wonderfully fulfilling practice there of sharing the love, the twin flame love that is this other kind of love that the whole world actually longs for and desires. So you can become a twin flame creation coach too. Yeah, you can. And people will give you back from doing your thing there, what feels correct for you to do as actions there, because you stand in your creativity there. People will give back to you there, in that mission, in full action. And that will, of course, be one logic way to let the abundance, also the monetary abundance, come in inside of your union. But I digress. You see, that's a logical result of that. That's also not complicated. It's a logical result of having the correct kind of source inside of you start to flow out, like a waterfall or a well, a spring. Well, anyway, whatever it is in your imagination, how you might say that. And that's your flow. You can repair yourself in the flow of the divine. And to repair your invisible self in the flow of the divine is the reset that makes it easy for you, that makes it totally doable for you. And it will feel so good that you want to stay in that flow. So every time you go away from that flow, you work your way back to it. That's your vow. That's your marriage vow. And that flow in the invisible you has also a parallel in the flow in your energy body in which your physical body lives. Yeah, and that's actually like the parallel in your body. That parallel is where you feel very pleasurable as well. Oh yeah, and you can, wander off and then go back again because you have your vow. I do it all the time. It's a grand reparation orientation that you promise your cooperation with. And you do that for the eternal you and the eternal them. This is supposed to be about love. What is bigger, a love gesture, than giving to your love of loves, your true twin flame, your ultimate lover, your partner in life and in mission and in everything, your best friend, your teacher, and your student in life. To give them this gift that you start to go back to that flow, and you vow that every time you go back to that flow with the correct twin flame tool. I hope this helped. Manifest creativity. Creator of us all, be with me. When I open to connect with myself, when I uncover the creative source to retrieve her, the way you have placed it inside of me, and the way in which the exact same source moves and guides you as well. O divine Creator, make that I will be receptive to your voice and lead me to the rhythm of your breath, so that I will find the movement that leads me, find words for it, and can experience the being of them openly. Thank you for the abundance that is received in this moment. Thank you for the power that makes that I receive this moment. In this atmosphere, you are very welcome to come enjoy our beautiful small opportunities, which are plenty in our Facebook community. It's called Your Abundance, and you would be very welcome to come in this living room of us to practice the central twin flame healing tool called Key, Key. You can download documents about it. You can find information about it under the hashtag Key. Put it in the search bar and press enter. You can present us with your own posts how your practice of doing this crucial twin flame tool is working out for you on a daily basis and get support. But also we have a 4-event online live program there every month in which I am available for you, just like that, to meet, get to know each other, and every one of the 4 monthly events has their own theme. One is to learn that key twin flame inner work much better than you might already do. And another one is talking about your mission. We also have a Q&A as one of the 4, and we read a little bit in the A Course in Miracles book every month as well, because your consciousness attuned to the source of creation better is what makes your twin flame come into your life much more easy. And that attunement of your consciousness is supported through that book. These are some of the things that you can do in our Facebook group, Your Abundance. And it's just available for you, this space for you to learn and share. Another thing is that from the group out, you can book small appointments with me that are for a small fee. They're called key sessions, and I can guide you through your inner work personally. Also, we could just talk about anything you need my personal support for, right? Another beautiful thing in the Facebook group, exclusively for Facebook group members, just like the key session, is the Divine Love reading. This reading report of many pages long gives you all the clues channeled from the divine for specifically you that you need to know to go to harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state it is all about, and from which your physical being together with your true twin flame is being birthed safely and guaranteed. At this time, you are also invited, if that feels for you, to come in for a big session. It's a 2-hour long, plus 20 minutes up front, and more services up front, plus afterwards an extra healing and extra information and more extra stuff session that is called Twin Flame Reset. In this reset, you will be transformed to the right state of energy and consciousness to go to your harmonious union state of being, to come into 3D twin flame union as quickly as can, as smooth as can. So give yourself that subtle realignment, reset of your inner space so that you can go to the harmonious twin flame union space soon and with ease. That's why I developed this service. It's a tremendously beautiful opportunity that is here for you now. So if you want to give yourself the ultimate push forward, book yours now. You'll find the information about the webpage, where that is published below. Do you want to go to the brilliance of your harmonious twin flame union and manifest your mission business and be a candidate in that to become a creation coach helping other twin flame unions in the methodology that I provide as well? Then I have something for you. In 2024, I'm looking for one candidate that talks with me if they are the person fit to receive a 6-month closely working together with me with 6 big sessions and 12 smaller in-between sessions to get passed on from me to you everything that I stand for, or at least a huge chunk in coaching geared towards you. Then you are ready for the Twin Flame Brilliance package. And if you feel that that is for you, working with me closely in 2024, getting everything down that you may need, the Twin Flame Reset, the initiations, the mission business, finding out what it is and starting to build it, the becoming a candidate to be a real creation twin flame coach with me, with opportunity to help clients. If you think that's for you, then I invite you to come talk with me. And below, you'll find contact information of me, one way or another that seems fit to you. Contact me and I will provide you with the information, how we can find out if it's you. I only look for one person that is going to be that in 2024. Now, we talked about that twin flame love and the union, and keeping that union, even in harmonious union, is actually not complicated but easy. And you have a vow to keep it there. And the practical element is doing your twin flame inner work with Key. Now, there are some more elements that might be very practical and good for you to know. And I feel that this video that I will show in a couple of seconds right here will be perfect for you to watch for that one after this video. I will see you there. Love from Petra.